evening. When I say good evening, it is 10 o'clock in the UK, 10 p.m. in the UK. I live around about 40 minutes away from London. And I believe it's around about tea time, 5 p.m. in North Carolina. Now tonight I'm going to be talking about communications turning into conversations and how sometimes we don't fully appreciate how, first of all, how long these conversations can take, but also when we meet people, how at the time we don't feel that there was any benefit in meeting people at the time. My name's Gill Fountain. I work with 38 Partnership. I am a branding and marketing agency. We help people to discover how to increase their visibility, to promote their products and their services, and getting loads of people to be able to find their services and their products, their brand online. We join all those gaps together. And I've always found that every time we have made a leap in our business, it's because we have started with a very small conversation. And it's a tiny conversation, a chance meeting that you would think would lead nowhere at all. Now, I used to run a toy business many years ago. I've been in business for 30 years and I used to run a toy business, and I have to say that some of the best clients that we had along the way, including the top high street stores in the UK, and castles, believe it or not, estate houses and castles all over the place, all started with a very small and sometimes quite funny conversation. I am also the owner of Building Tomorrow Today with 38 Partnership, and you are very welcome to join me in that small group. It is a small group, but they are incredibly supportive in there, and we do lots of Facebook Lives in there as well. So the story I'm going to tell you about tonight started with a networking meeting. I went to a networking meeting. I'd been going to this networking meeting for quite a while, in actual fact, and I was paying out my weekly, my monthly, my whatever it was, travelling to and fro. The benefit that I could see from this networking meeting was that I could stand up in front of people and speak. And I was just using that as my treading ground, my training ground, as it were. And I didn't see that I was going to gain any business out of being with that group other than I was practicing my skill. The presentations, I have to say, were always very well received, and that gave me the confidence to carry on. But it was this particular time that we met in a bowling alley. It was rather a strange meeting, and we would normally stop and have lunch, and there would be talks, and we'd all do our 60 seconds. But this particular time, it was a bit different than normal. We would normally have a sit-down lunch together, and that particular day, we were dished up pots of tea and sandwiches. And somebody rushed in and sat beside me. And he was in a bit of a fluster, really, because he was late and he didn't like being late. And I said to him, you know, where do you come from? Started making conversation. And he said, this is the very first meeting I've been to in this networking group. I found it difficult to get to. I'm late coming. I hate this. I hate being like this. And I don't understand this setup at all. And he was a bit out of sorts. Anyway, we started to talk. And I found him very friendly. You know, he's friendly, business-like, very gentleman. And we got on okay. And I thought, well, that was a nice, pleasant lunchtime, really. Don't ever expect to get anything out of it. Went to the next meeting, bumped into him again. 4 or 5 times later, there was a couple of people that I bumped into almost on the rounds, and they encouraged me, in actual fact, to carry on with my speaking in these events. And then I decided we would stop. In actual fact, I think it was actually the lockdown. We all stopped going to networking. So by that time, we'd known each other for about 6 or 7 months. Nothing had come out of it. None of us had tried to sell to each other. It was just a friendly face that we could say hi to as we went to the next networking meeting. And I'd actually written off getting any work from that particular networking group. Lockdown came along, COVID came along, illnesses came along, redundancies. There was these two guys in this particular networking group, same one, the first one, and another one. And we never did any business, we never got anywhere. And then, like I say, lockdown came along and I got an email. No, I didn't. I got a message on LinkedIn. We'd connected on LinkedIn. One of them said, "Can I give you a call?" And the other one said, "Jill, I've got a really bad dose of COVID. I wanted to work with you, but I'm going to have to put it on hold." I'll go forward about, well, 9 or 10 months. The conversations carried on, the messages carried on, not very often, once or twice a month. The first guy I met started on my 5 steps, which I have done this evening, 5 steps to develop an A+ LinkedIn profile. He enjoyed it. He liked the way I worked, he said. He signed on to my next visibility level, level 1, level 2, level 3. He is now a VIP client of ours, and we have gone from nothing, never thought of getting him as a client, to a fully paid up member of our VIP clients. The other gentleman that I had, that I got on with well, and again, never thought I would be working with him on a professional basis because our businesses were miles apart. He was made redundant. And he phoned me and he was very upset. Now, this is why these conversations work. If you are real, if you don't put on any pretense, if you don't try to sell to people, but they actually like you, they come back towards you. And as you see these buying patterns, as you see these communications appear, you not only do you appreciate them because you've gone from potential client to no, we're not going to do any business, to actually quite good friends. This particular one, he phoned me, he'd been made redundant, he was walking around a lake somewhere, really upset. He sent me his CV to have a look at. We had a look at what he was doing, his website. He's got himself a job. And I thought, oh, that's it, we won't see him again, that'll be the end of that, because people do, don't we? We all go our separate ways, and actually when you're in business, people come and go, and it is real friends that stick together. Just like when you're working for an employer, you leave after a certain amount of time, and sometimes you can be there for 10 years seeing people day in, day out, and at the end of the 10 years you may see 1 or 2 people from that company in the next year or so. But this particular guy, he started sending me funny videos. I mean, really funny videos about funny things that made you laugh. And it was his way of keeping in touch. And they were the sort of little tiny snippet videos that I would pass on to my children, and they would laugh at them as well. So the sense of humour was there. And only this week, he's come back and said, "Jill, I've done my 6 months there. I'm coming out of this job. Will you take a look at my next company, my next website, and can we have a chat?" So you see, keeping in touch with people, not being pushy, just biding your time, watching for those signs that you can see an opening, an opportunity. It's all about getting your timing right. And actually, with these particular gentlemen, I never thought I would be working with them, and I've ended up working with both of them. Now, with regards to the networking meetings that I was going to, I actually think that they were the only 2 people that I kept in touch with. they are the only two people I would continue to keep in touch with, because I feel that they are actually good friends of mine now, and I enjoy their company. And if they, like I say, it was the case of if they turned into a client, it would be an absolute benefit and an absolute pleasure to work with them side by side. And it's all about starting those communications, those conversations, and seeing where they lead. And at the end of the day, if we've got business out of it, brilliant. If we've got friends that have come out of it, that's a bonus as well, isn't it? Now, talking about that, like I say, we did do 5 steps to develop an A+ LinkedIn profile tonight, and I had a really good group. What I do is, if it's a small group, not if it's a large group because it's too much, but if it's a small group, I ask them to introduce each other to each other, because that sort of bonds people together. Because when you're asking what you feel is an awkward question, or a question where you don't want to feel silly, it's quite nice if you feel you're in a group of friendly people in a safe environment, and you don't want to be made, you don't want to feel awkward at all. So what I do in a smaller group is I get them to introduce each other, and we all start chatting, and it may be 5-6 minutes before I actually start the webinar. And we will check back as we go through to make sure, you know, as you would normally do, and putting those extra bits of information in as you go, so that it's not only some slides. And we started talking about Clubhouse. And I said, you know, is anybody on Clubhouse? One of the girls was brilliant, loving it, loving every minute of it. And the others hadn't and weren't, and maybe in the near future, because what we were saying was, if you want to fast track that know, like and trust, it is all about talking to people. So all the messages that we take online, as we do on social media, the images that we put up are great. But actually, when you just pitch straight in and start talking to people, that's when these sort of opportunities open up. And I am finding that the people that I talk to on Clubhouse, not that I'm on it a lot, although we have got a room on it with Charlene tomorrow, and I'm on it with Hayley at some point. There's a lot going on between all of us at the moment. Loads of opportunities, lots of exciting events coming on their way. And what I have found is the people that I am talking to and connecting with are quite happy to come off of Clubhouse after we've been talking to each other and move on to the other social platforms. I mean, I'm connecting with them on LinkedIn, because it's LinkedIn that I'm talking about. And I am finding that fast tracking of that know, like and trust really exciting. The fact that, you know, we're not talking about 6 months, a year or anything. We're talking about half an hour, maybe you bump into each other the second time, and there's already connections going. There's an awful lot of goodwill inside, because you're taking the time to help and support people. So, like I say, I'm on Clubhouse in a room tomorrow at my time at 11 o'clock with Charlene Bosworth. And there are other things coming on in the pipeline over the next few weeks, which we will be heavily promoting, no doubt. We will be heavily promoting, and I hope you'll be able to join us. In the meantime, if you'd like to join me on Building Tomorrow Today with 38 Partnership, my Facebook group, please hop over and join there as well. If you'd like to be a guest speaker, for instance, inside that group, I'd love you to join me. We love having people come along and start interacting with the group. We are a very small group, so there's every opportunity to stand out, which again is what I do. It helps you stand out and promote your own businesses. So thank you today. Oh, excuse me. Thank you very much, and I'll say good night.